Yo, what's up? What's up? What's good? What's good? Hopefully, this is coming through. Back in here. You already know the one, the Lady Shay Butter up in the building. Sliding through, just with a quick message from me to you, for you, from me, right? Allow the marination to resonate to see if it fits for digestion to accumulate more of the wholeness. So, getting straight to the point, right? Getting straight to my point. The why and the how. Why and how? Why does something happen? And how does something happen? So I'm sliding through with a little message. A little story time, if you will. Right? With the why and the how of life. Certain times, certain reasons, we have to accept certain facts for ourselves, who we are, and more importantly, who we are surrounded by, right? And as it would come, as it would go, as it's planned, even as it is set up, we have to accept the fact that we were created and made from our parents, right? Shout out to the parents again. Shout out to the real parents again, right? Because there's everybody that has children really qualified to be called mom and dad. I'm just throwing it out there, right? But again, in life, you have to accept certain facts of your life. And with the basics of it, you have to accept that you were born and created through mom and dad. And when we're lucky, right, we have our siblings. We have our uncles, we have our aunties, we have our cousins, right? Shout out to the Kim folk, right? And what is the point? What is the purpose to life? As I always say, what is the point and purpose to life? Oh, shout out to you, London man. Hope that you can hear me and hope all is going well with you also. Gratitude for you sliding through. So as I was saying, right, when you're lucky, I don't know if to call it lucky just yet, but I'm going with it, right? When you're lucky, you have family that care, that supports, that will bring a better foundation to what is life. Right? And likewise, we have the flip side to it. We're born, we're created into families. We have mom, we have dad, we have siblings, we have aunties, we have uncles, and even cousins. Especially cousins, right? First cousins, second cousins, third cousins. Shout out to the in-laws. Right? But as you go through life, when you're in life, and trying to figure some things out, the most important part to factor in is just that. The foundation needs to be rooted. Otherwise, it will be blown in the wind. Am I right or am I right? Or am I right? Right? So, again, the why and the how to life. The why and the how of life. And how you make it yours. How can you make life yours? How do you make life yours? Right? When you correlate the essentials of family. Let it marinate, let it marinate, let it marinate, right? Let me say it again. How do you live life? How do you make life yours? In the correlation of family, right? And again, I'm throwing it out there. When you're lucky, if you're lucky, you have the family that supports. You have the family that genuinely will help you level up, grow, mature, to better be able in your experience of life. Right? And then of course, the how and the why and the how, to why something could be or something couldn't be. Right? So I got a question to throw in there before I continue. Got a question for you. When you ask for something, when you want something, when you dream and desire and you put out that energy to manifest, once it comes through, once it comes out, once it's created, once it's born, once it's established, why or how are you in the place or position to stop it? Why? Hey, when it comes to, this is what you wanted. This was one of your purposes. This was one of your plans. Now how or why are you stopping it? How or why are you trying to keep it in a box? What do I mean? What am I saying? What am I talking about? Where am I going with this, right? You ever wonder, do you ever think, do you ever sit back and ponder, are people really for me or against me? Right? They say it. Sometimes they show it. Sometimes they're there. Sometimes they dip into contributing. Right? Talk about contributing here. Yet, and again, the stopping of the whole progress. Right? And this is what I'm talking about. This is where I'm trying to lay my foundation. Right? When it comes to importance, it doesn't matter if you're first, doesn't matter if you're last, doesn't matter if you're somewhere in the middle. The point of purpose is that you get it done. Again, am I right or am I right? The point of purpose to something is that you established it and you finished it. Now, when it comes to misdirection, right? Again, we're just simply talking about family. How and why would family misdirect? How and why would family mislead? How and why would family be the root of the dysfunction? Yet, and again, keeping it to the point, holding on to the trophy, holding on to the title, holding on to, look at my baby, they did it, they doing it, look at them go, that's my baby, I'm proud of them, yep. Yet in the midst of it, right, in the midst of it, doing side talks, making side groups, forming plots, signing paperwork, right? To continue the misdirection, to continue that. Oh, don't worry about it. You're almost gonna make it. Don't worry. Just keep trying. Keep working hard. You're gonna get there. Don't worry. Hey, but in the meantime, of between time, while you're doing that, can you help me out? Can you help me? Can you help me out? Can you help me out? Can you? I need some help. I need a couple dollars. I need you to watch the kids. So, anything. Can you help? Because we all struggling, right? We all go through the pitfalls of almost, not just yet, and we're still waiting, right? But in certain times, with certain awarenesses, certain delays happen. Certain delays begin to pop up. And when you look at it, when you think about it, when you ask yourself a couple of questions, right? For example, if you are a quiet person, right? You don't run your mouth too much. You don't disclose anything that is non-essential to the factor, the benefits, right? If you're like me, you keep certain things quiet, on the low, on the hush, until it's done. Until you can say, that it's finished. Job well done. Look at what I have accomplished. Okay, I'm back. There goes. What is the matter with some people? Right? I'm tired of sugarcoating certain things, right? And it comes down to it, I'm tired of sugarcoating things. And when you get tired of being through, yeah, things are gonna change. Things are gonna be different, one way or another, right? And at certain times, I had to ask myself, why are certain things happening? Why are certain things shaping the way that they are shaping? Why are certain things being conducted in the fashion that they're being conducted? And you had to look at it. Actually, we had to look at it, right? And as I was saying, me personally, if I want you to know something, I'll tell you. That's just me. If you need to know something, I will let you know. Right? But other than that, especially when it comes to personal, right? We're not talking about essential tips of awareness to keep a currency flow. No, we're not talking about that. No. We're talking about personal, right? Personal information that is just yours. Should not be nobody else's, right? Unless you tell them. Just straight up and to the point, right? Unless you tell somebody something, if it's personal, then they're gonna know. But if you don't tell them something, you don't let them know, then how are they gonna know? Right? So I'm sharing the why and the how to life. When you want something to be yours, be mindful of who you share it with, right? Because people will use certain things to gain the upper hand. And this is what I mean by that, right? If you are a person that is trying to create and establish a business, right? Let's keep it on the basic. You're trying to establish a business. You don't want to work for me, right? You don't want to help with the materials, with the people, with the organization of something. Yet you want credit to part in once it gets developed. How does that work? And wait for it. If you don't want to share, you don't want to include, because hey, let's just be real. If you're not putting in no work, then why should I have faith in you, right? To make sure that what I see, my vision, is going to be established to the fullest, right? How do you get the play with no work? I'm trying to understand that, right? But again, when you look at life, when you look at people in life, everybody's different. Everybody has their own point of purpose and what they want and what they don't want, and what they will do to get it, right? So again, bringing it back to the business, you don't want to help in no way, shape, or form, but you want credit. How? Explain this to me, right? Explain to me how you want credit for something, yet you put in no work, right? And then again, you get to a point of, I gotta just say it, right? You in your feelings now. You in your feelings because you're not a part of something that you put no work into. Let's keep that on the table, right? You didn't put no work into it, but you mad that you're not a part of it. Now comes the how and the why for life and why certain things happen, right? Because you got the sneaky ones, don't you? You got the misleading ones, don't you? You got those that fake it, that love to smile, that say they're in your corner, say they got your back. But, do they really have your back? Are they really supporting? Or are they just, trying to mix and blend in so that they can hold another title, right? And I think it's crazy. I honestly think that it's crazy how the closest can be the worst, right? Yet, where I'm at with it is those that don't even know you. Right? The people that don't even know you, they might have heard of you. Word of mouth, right? Talking, chit, chat, right? But in the essence of it, they really don't know you. Yeah, for some reason, shape, or form, because they're not doing nothing. They're not trying to do nothing. Here comes the fits of, let me say it again, emotions. You and your feelings, huh? You and your feelings because you see someone doing something and you're not doing nothing at all. But let's throw it on the table, right? You can do something. Oh yeah, you can do something, right? You can steal, which you do, right? You can lie, which you have been. And then this is the best part, right? Get ready for it. Get ready for it. They want to come up to you as if you're friends, as if you're family, as if they know more about you than you know about yourself. And it gets to a point where it's like, how does the why even seem reasonable? Right? You don't know me for nothing. Yet you see something I have, get mad, get jealous, and your only thought is to try to corrupt, take, or manipulate. Right? I mean, let it marinate, right? Let it marinate. But again, the only thing that can be simplified is taking accountability for self, right? And when you know what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how you're doing it, it doesn't matter anymore, right? It doesn't matter how long or how much someone tries to manipulate. It's like, guess what? I see you. Right? I see you. I know what you're doing. Right? I already know. And again, shout out to family, right? Because those are the ones that'll really get you in by the neck, won't they? Those are the ones that'll really try to slide and pass by. Oh, well, you know, we family. We gotta share. Or, and this is my favorite, right? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. I ain't got nothing. I didn't do nothing. I wasn't even there. Right? Yet somehow, some way, you gain access. Right? Somehow, some way, you are no longer under supervision when you were supposed to be. Right? And how does that work? How does that work? How does that work? Oh, I know. Right? You manipulate. You lie. And you steal. So I'm trying to figure it out, right? I'm just trying to figure it out. It's like, when is enough enough? Right? Like, I mean, you already got the house. Right? You already got the money. Right? You already stopped and sabotaged my personal. Right? You already sabotaged it. Shout out to you for that. Right? Now, as they would say, where is this going? Right? Where is this going? Okay, you took what was mine. Right? And oh, you know it was mine. You got it. You still trying to finagle some things so that I don't know. So I don't see. So I don't hear. But no, I see you. I know exactly what you're doing. And if anything, like I've been saying, you deserve to go to jail. Goodbye. Case closed. You do not pass go or collect that $200. And trust you me when I say it, you've been collecting more than $200, haven't you? Yeah. Let's just it was way more than $200, right? So again, what's the game plan? You're no longer locked up. Shout out to the snitches, right? But my whole thing is, I'm definitely not you. So how are you going to swap places with me? I'm just trying to figure it out. Because I definitely don't do what you do. And that was the problem, wasn't it? Because I don't do what you do. Because I don't like what you like. Because I don't get down the way you get down. So, being funny with it, at least you thought so, right? Being cute with it, at least you want to be, right? You said, let me manipulate. Let me take over. Let me spread some lies, right? Let me set some things up, right? And again, after all that's been done and said, right? What's the game plan to the ending of it? Right? What's the game plan to the ending of where you're going with it? Right? And then I gotta say it, and I gotta express it, right? Because it's just one of those things. I'm on a rampage right now. If you don't like it, you click off. Thank you. You greatly appreciate it, right? Because it's just, okay. Everybody's living life right now, right? We are all in our own situation of ups and downs, right? And of course, you got those that complain, you got those that don't, you got those that do work, you got those that don't. It's a conglomerate of a little bit of everything, right? And so, when you factor into certain things, I always say it, and I meant it. We all have choices, right? We all have choices. And we all have decisions that we can make based off of those choices. And it leads to, right, direction. Leads to an open door or a closed door, right? It leads to something. There's a domino effect to what we choose. Right? And this situation of proving better, right? It's laughable, at least to me, at this point in the game, right? Because again, if everybody's different, if everyone has different skills, as we can plainly see through life, right? Everybody is not the same. Nobody's the same, really, unless you begin to merge, mimic, or copycat. Right? Because does everybody have the same idea at the same moment, at the same awareness? And even if they do, right, is it down to the very littlest detail? Are they the same? Or is it different? And once we accept that there's differences, we gotta accept that everybody's life can be different. So the way that I get something, make something grow, establish something, it's not gonna be the same way that you do. I mean, isn't that fair? So how and why is there a need to sabotage? And again, I'm really on families right now, right? I'm strictly on families right now. Because yes, friends, lovers, neighbors, business partners, co-workers, schoolmates, they're all included, right? Because we deal with them, we live our lives, and we commingle. Yet when we're talking about the roots, right? The roots. We gotta go to the family. We gotta stay with the family. And if the family is, what's the best way to say it? Headstrong on being the only one, even though the family is humongous, huge. How are you the only one? Right? First of all, how are you the only one? But again, to the degree of it's your time, right? It's your point to make a purpose, to prove a purpose, and to establish that purpose. Why, if we're family, right? Literally, if we're family, if we're blood, right? Where does the sabotage come from? And I'm saying it for real, especially when you already had something, right? I'm just saying, like, you already built yours, you already established yours, however by means you did, and was anyone there stopping you? Or should I say it, was I there stopping you? Right, let me get direct to the point. Was I stopping you from living your life, creating what you wanted, when you wanted it, and how you wanted it? No, not at all. But you did to me, though. How and the why? How and the why? Right? And it gets to the point where, yeah, you gotta say it the way that it is, right? And what way is that? You gotta be jealous. Because let you tell it, right? Even though you won't say it to me, right? Because you all fake smiles and hugs and kisses to me. But behind my back, I ain't shit. I'm nothing. Yet you taken from me. Right? Yet you are continuing to have hiccups to where I get shut down, I get stopped, I get pulled over, I get told no. And again, did I do that to you? Right? Because when it comes down to it, right? You only gotta know what you know. Right? Whether you're told something or whether you see something. Right? And it's like, I could have been did that. If you really want to get to the honest truth, I could have talked too. I could have said some things, and guess what? It wouldn't have been lies. It wouldn't have been manipulation. It would have been straight up what it was. And that's what you don't like, huh? Because it's funnier talking if it's lies, right? Especially when the people believe it, right? Especially when the people believe it. And that's why it gets to the point of, yeah, no, I'm cool, right? I'm cool. I tried it, been there, done that. I don't need it anymore, right? Don't want it anymore. What's the point of it? What's the point of going through it? Right? And then I said, nah, what the hell? Let me give it one more go, right? And I extended the self to the virtual reality, right? AKA the platform, right? Shout out to you, folks. And you begin to see, right, just how similar certain things could be, right? And when you know something, you know it, and when you know better, you do better, right? So it gets to a point of, yeah, Watch who you talk to. Yeah, right? It gets to a point of, yeah, people act like they don't know what's going on, but they clearly do, right? People think that you're slow, yet you're very well aware of the sneakiness, right? And this is another thing to factor in of what I don't get, right? Because I think we've all been there at one point in time, right? Where you get you're attracted to someone, right? You find them attractive. You try your shot. You shoot your shot, right? And maybe it hits on the back end, the backboard, right? You don't get that swoosh, right? And again, at a certain time, we all are at our own level in life, right? So sometimes, yeah, it's gonna take that little extra minute to shake it off and say, their loss, not mine, and keep it moving, right? There's someone better around the bend, right? But you got those that think it's funny, right? And they try the methods of madness through setups. Oh, I'm gonna get my cousin. See if they can do something. Let's see how far my cousin can go. Let's see how far my uncle can go. Right? They don't know that we're related. They don't know that's my boy from back in the day. Used to go to high school together. Let's see what happens. Right? Because at the end of the day, it's one of those things, right? It's one of those things. Do unto others as you want done unto you. So if you out here doing stupid, sneaky shit, isn't it just logic that stupid, sneaky shit is gonna come back to you? Right? And then you gotta add it, right? How are you gonna blame somebody else? Or more importantly, how are you gonna blame the person that you was trying to manipulate or get over on? Right? How are you blaming them? I'm just saying. So, to make it understandable, to make it logical, to make it worthwhile, you have a choice. And after you have the time, right? After you give yourself that time to make that choice, and you on the deciding factor and you're about to put in that action, that is where you, not me, but you, yes, you, are held accountable. Right? So I don't understand certain things. I don't understand certain ways of life in people's methods of what is logic. Right? And then there's the other factor to it. In the how and the why, of the why and the how, certain things happen in life, right? Because nobody can override accountability. But wait a minute. Hasn't that been happening? Right? Hasn't that been happening? Accountability hasn't been accounted for, and this is why, possibly, right? I'm just speaking out loud with it. This is why possibly certain things are the way that they are. Right? I mean, just take a look at life. Right? Take a look outside of your life for a moment and look at your surrounding life. Look at your neighbor. Look at the people that you see every day, that you deal with on a daily, that you talk to on a daily, right? Look at the people that are getting promoted, people that are owning businesses, right? The people that are establishing foundations, organizations, right? How are you any different from them? You're not, right? I'm here to tell you, you're not. You're not no different from any person out here that has made true hell's purpose, right? And of course, we have the trials and errors, right? And of course, we have those not quite yet, almost. Let me refurbish, let me redo, and let me retry, right? And that's on the right side of it, right? Yet, when we slide to the left, right? When we slide to the left, certain things are being don't say nothing. You didn't see nothing, right? And just in some cases, right? Just for some cases, here's a little money to keep that right? So we go through life working, building, and establishing. Then you have the other side where you have those that try to stop, will pay to stop, will pay to manipulate, and will pay to keep certain things untouched. Right? You either go and the more money you got, the more control you have, right? As they say. So, with that in mind, right? With that in mind, ask yourself the question: how much did I see that I know I shouldn't have seen? And how much did I look away? How much did I turn my head? How much did I keep my mouth shut? With or without the pay? Right? Because if you did it without the pay, then oh, for sure. If you got the pay, then you're really going to be on the hush, hush, right? I'm just saying. Incentives, benefits, right? And we all got bills to pay. So, what's the point of it? Or at the end of the day, where are we going with it? What's the method to what is being established, right? And how far are you going to get? How far are you willing to go? On the right side of things, right? Because you're going to have the left. It's there, right? It's rooted now. It's rooted because it's a 70-30 split to the left, if I'm not mistaken. I could be off by a denominator or two. Yeah, but I think I'm fairly just to the left, 30 to the right? You got 30% of those that are true. Right? You got the 70% of those. Well, this is happening. If this is being dealt and established in my current situation, in this current reality, what can I do? You keep doing you, right? You keep doing you. And most importantly and effectively, make sure that no matter what, at the forefront of your mind, you know what it is and why it is for you. Right? Why are certain things the way they are for you? How are certain things the way that they are for you? Right? Because, again, with the story time, right? Family is a trip. They really are. And it's on a scale of, you gotta love them, right? And at certain times, you gotta love them from a distance, right? Because it's just, it might sound mean, but it's the truth from my situation, right? How useful or how good are you to me? We're related, right? We have the same blood flowing through us, yet you will block me, you will stop me, you will lie on me, you will steal from me, you will manipulate me, you will try to have me thrown in jail, you will try to have me go through something that I don't deserve to go through. Yet, because your personal life, right, your children got money, right, then it's all to the good. Because you get to smile and say, oh, I did something that the next didn't do. But really, 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 and this is my whole point of it, what did you really do? Right? I mean, what did you really do? Besides, let's say, make children. But everything else, and I mean everything else, was through forms of what the fuck? And are you serious? And oh, don't forget the really? Right? Like literally, again, that 730, right? That 70-30 split. 70 is like, and wasn't even yours. Wasn't even yours. Wasn't even yours. That 30? Yeah, you got that. You got that 30 the whole day long. Shout out to the 30. But that 70 that you got to make that 100 that you so rightfully feel is due to you. And I mean, don't get me wrong, you got it, right? You took it. But it's not yours. So when it comes down to it, it's like, what did you really do? You gained through stealing, so now you're the best. Now you're the favorite. Now you're the top. Now you're the end all be all. I guess. I suppose. And it's sad. It's truly sad because no matter what, right? Yet the aftershock, you prepare for you prepare for the aftershock because see that's the one thing that people don't want. Right? People don't want oh, I did this, I did that, like see, so I'm not background. Yeah, but you still there. You still know. You still got part of the pie. So the aftershock. Don't be surprised of the aftershock. Because the aftershock is gonna come no matter how much you try to delay it or postpone it or try to flip it into saying that it's somebody else who didn't do nothing. Right? Who innocently didn't do nothing. And that's a strong word to say, but it's the truth. Who innocently didn't do nothing but what they were supposed to do. Right? Work hard. If you want something, you work to get it. You don't work to steal it. You don't work to manipulate it. You don't work to, oh, let's build groups and enforce scare tactics and manipulation and beating people up. Right? That's not, no. And then especially, right, let's just, again, bring everything on the table, right? If you're going to do certain things by force, if you're trying to be a guard, right, it's guarding, right? But, yeah, if you're trying to be on that effect of it, why are you not including everybody in the family? Oh, because you missing some people. No, you missing some people, right? Like, family is family. Let you tell it, right? Let you share it. You're doing stuff for the generation, right? But the generation is only one-sided. So how does that work? How are you doing something for the generations, but you taking out the generation? Right? How are you producing something to the supreme, but everything is based off of lies and scandal? How? And why? Are you running from the aftershock? Why are you still trying to hold up the illusion? Right? Because let's just be real with that. I mean, you had, what, 15 years? You had 20 years? I mean, didn't you do your bid? Now it's time for somebody else to take over, right? Somebody who's gonna do and dish and deal rightfully so. Not just pinpointing, oh, I'm selective. Oh, you my favorite nephew, so you go get a cut. You my favorite niece, so you go get a cut. Y'all like auntie, so she go get a cut. Unc, he cool, so he can get something, but everybody else not. What? Was that in the agreement? Was that in what was supposed to be dished out? I don't think so. Matter of fact, I know so. Right? But, at certain times, it's like, okay, you want to be the big dog, go for it. You're the big dog. You're the boss. Take everything you want. Take it all. Which I'm sure that you did, or you're still working on. Right? I'm not saying anything. I'm in the corner, minding my business, trying to establish mine. And yet, and still, you circling around creating fuck shit. Again, I'm not in your personal life. Why are you on mine? It's not cute. It's not funny. But as I said earlier, what's done is done, right? So laugh on that. What's done is done. But get prepared for the aftershock. The aftershock of accountability. Because no matter what, I don't care how many people you try to use as if they're me. Yeah, shout out to the copycats, right? No, you're not. Not even close. Right? Not even close. So when it comes down to it, I wasn't there. So how are you gonna put me in place when I wasn't even there? right? Unless you can really, let's say, manipulate some stuff, and that's going far, right? That's going deep. You could put me somewhere that I wasn't accurately. Yeah, that's a whole nother boatload, right? So when it comes down to it, yeah, I wasn't there. Take accountability for what you did. Straight up, you did it, not me. You planned it. I didn't. You took over it. I wasn't even in the knowing of it, or at least I wasn't supposed to be. Right? And then let me throw it on to this. Shout out to the real men. And I mean that wholeheartedly and sincerely. Shout out to the real men out here. Right? Whether you have a family or you don't. But especially if you have a family, right? And more importantly, if you have daughters. Right? Because as they say, a little girl learns from her father what type of man she wants, what type of man she needs, and what type of man she deserves. Because he deserves her, and she deserves him. Because they're compatible, right? Because they're realistic into what is the purpose of life. So yeah, definitely shout out to the real men out here that are really holding theirs strong, right? Because you got a lot of guys nowadays, right? They look like a man, right? Some of them even have the age of a man. Yet there's no, you're not holding the essence of what a man is. Not at all. Not at all. Just not at all. There ain't no debate, no rebuttal, no nothing. Don't even. You ain't got to think about it. You're not what you You want to go to cousins. You want to go to best friends. Thinking it's cute. Talking to your friends, right? My friends. I did that. Oh, she was wild. Oh, she was a freak. Hey, let me pass it. Let me pass it. See how far you can get with her. Right? That's a man? Nah. No. Nope. That's not a man. Not at all. That's a little boy. That's a little boy. That's something you did in high school, like they say, right? It ain't about how many I can get. It's about what's the right one. Because I tried it. I did the trial and error, test the trial of seeing what could happen. Well, how many times do you have to go through trial and error, right, before you can figure into what's real enough for you to establish? Wise, what's firm, what's concrete? What do you really want in a woman? I mean, how many different women do you have to go through before you can honestly say, I want a woman like such and such and such and such? Right? Because that's the one you build the family with. Right? That's the one that you bred the generations through, right? The number one, the only, the queen, right? Not, oh, you got the queen, and yes, you might got the ring, but then you got a couple on the side. No, 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 nope, no, not at all. Because again, certain things happen when you turn from little boy to a man. You're done playing games, right? You're done venturing out, sightseeing, figuring out, wondering what somebody else got between their legs. What does it matter to you? You got yours. You already got baby number one and number two. Why are you sightseeing? Right? I'm just saying. What's the point? Because if you were still willing to search, don't have no babies. Yeah, I said it. Yep. If you still on that tip, don't have no babies. Don't get married. Don't tell a woman that you love her and that you're there for her and that's all it's gonna be. But you know that you're gonna be popping it up and down with somebody else. As soon as you leave her, you go into the store allegedly, but you getting a quickie for some random that your boy told you about. What? And then you go home to your wife and want to kiss your wife. You want to go home to your children and kiss on your daughter. What? No. Nope. But that's what people got it wrong though, right? That's what people think it's okay. Why? Probably because they've seen it before. Right? I mean, how many outside families do we know about? Right? 2 years. 2 years. Right? 2 years. Yeah, you got the husband and the wife, but he got the second wife cross town. The first wife he had, she only got one baby, but the second wife cross town, she got 3. Right? Like we've heard these stories before, right? We've heard these stories before, and this is my thing of the fact that why lie? Why lie? And the way that you lie is by saying that you're it. I want you. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Right? But people don't want to be honest with themselves, right? People don't want to be honest to other people. Why? Because they won't get their way. Let's just throw it out there. If you said the truth of what you really wanted, you're only going to get so far, right? At least when it comes to certain people. And you want to have your way, right? You want to get your way, right? So you'll lie. So you'll deceive. So you'll marry, right? Or you'll get someone pregnant. And you know that you just be here that you have a good time with. But, right, cute part, she's starting to think about it. She's like, you know what? Something's not seeing right. Something's a little off. So I'm gonna go and see what option I have. Right? And you so in your feelings. You get her pregnant. You so allegedly she won't go nowhere. Just so allegedly you can still do what you want to do, right? But come back to baby mama. Number 1, number 2, number 4, number 9. Right? You always gonna be good with me. I'm always gonna give you something. You baby mama. What? Oh, and then again, this is another cute one, right? You got those that don't want to get married, will tell you that straight up, right? And only go to certain women that want to be married. And then you start flipping the script about how females, right, not women, but how females are, oh, they only want to lock a brother down. They only want to get me to get married so I can't have no more fun. Like, what? What? You going to the women. You going to the wives. But you just want to play. Go play with the females. I mean, they're out there. You see them clear as day. You know what they want. But you playing with the women. And then you get mad when the women tell you what it is. Or tell you no. They tell you no. I don't want to deal with a little boy. I want a man. I don't want you. Just because I said no? Just because I don't want to deal with the headache? But there's plenty, again, let me say it, right? There's plenty of them that love the headache. They wake up for the headache. Go mess with them. And then some of you do, right? You do go mess with those that just want to play and want to have fun. And then, uh-oh. Now you got something you can't get rid of. And I'm not talking about a child. Right? Now you got something that you can't get rid of. And then again, here goes the slander. All these females ain't nothing. All these females, all they good for is one thing, but then they're not even good for that because look at what they giving me. And it's like, it takes two to tango, don't it? And wasn't you a willing participant? You was a willing participant, wasn't you? So why are you not on the after effect of the aftershock? It doesn't make sense. Right? It really doesn't make sense to me. So it goes to say, logic is everything, right? And to always watch your front, your back, your sides, and all corners. Because at the end of the day, you can be lucky to have those that care, they will support you, whether they're family or not. And then you have those that will just be exactly what they are made for, to cause chaos and to be a headache. And yeah, it used to be easy as, I don't want to deal with that, let me turn and walk away. But that doesn't always work now, right? It doesn't always work, because certain times you gotta accept it. When a person gets so much or so many yeses, right? Because it's given to them freely. When they hear that one no, they can't handle it. They can't handle it. They literally can't handle it. They can't. Right? So, again, shout out to the real men. And even shout out to the boys, right? It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. It's time to grow up. Because how long are acceptable amounts of time to be stuck at a stage but you still stuck in a little boy mindset. Like we gotta grow up. We gotta grow up. It's time to grow up. It's time to elevate. Stop. Right? Just stop. Just stop. Shout out to the grown women. Right? There's not a lot of us still out here. So you gotta accept and appreciate those when you meet them, when you see them. Because as they would say, women are a rare artifact to find these days, because women are not out in the open anymore. Women are hiding. Right? Because women are tired of the fuck shit. Women are tired of the lies. Women are tired of the abuse. Women are tired of the degrading. Women are tired of being used and misused, because there's nothing wrong with being used to a point if it's equal, right? But if it's just one sided and you're simply using, that's misuse, that's abuse, right? And the women are tired of it. So yeah, the women are going in hiding. It's not that they're scared. They're trying to establish firm boundaries to say no. No, by any means and all means necessary. When I say no, I mean no. Right? And how can you debate that? Just like the real man. They out here. They too are hiding. Why? Because they done with the fuck shit. They're done with the lies. They're done with the corruption. They want something real in their life. They're tired of second guessing, overthinking, working hard, breaking their back, and then when it comes down to it, it's like, oh, I did all of this for nothing. Just so you could go to my brother? Just so you could go to my cousin? Just so you can mess with my dad? Like, it's beyond the means of measures that people will go to, because they think what? They can come up. They can have more. They can establish something just a little bit better with that person versus you. So they'll kick you to the side, boot you to the curb, all the while playing in your face. Like, even having babies with your family, but having you raise them as if they're yours. Like, men are tired of that. They don't want to deal with it no more. So when it comes down to it, shout out to the man, shout out to the women, because y'all are true soldiers out here, right? You're setting the groundwork, you're setting the foundations, and it's not always easy, but you're holding strong, as strong as you can at this time, this era, at this moment. Right? Because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on at this time, isn't it? Everybody got bills to pay. Everything's going up. Prices are out the. It's like, what? Have you seen the prices that it is now? For rent, for food, for clothes, and then if you do got babies, for daycare, right? If your children are in school program, you gotta pay for that, right? Gotta pay for gas. Gotta pay for your car. Gotta pay for insurance. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? Homeless crisis is skyrocketing, right? Certain people are almost on the edge of being homeless, right? You have a split between, if you look the part, you can be in the crew, but if you don't look the part, then you can't be in the crew. Yet those that don't look the part are the ones that are qualified. I'm just saying. So you got a lot of craziness going around, people saying things, doing other things, people doing things, saying other things. Right? It's a mass, a ball of confusion. To add on, to factor in your own personal life, right? What you want, what you need, and how you're trying to keep it, how you're trying to establish it, or how you're trying to edge it on down the road, right? On that train, got the train going, and you still trying to load some stuff, right? Because there are distractions, right? And certain times, yeah, the biggest distraction would be those that are closest to you, because what have they been doing? Right? That's the whole thing where people like to play with it, right? We've all had the same set of time. To a degree, right? To a degree. Because you got the olders, you got the elders, and you got the youngs, and you got the teens, right? So everybody does have a different set of timing. Yet, if we're talking about making families, then you should at least be in your 20s, 30s, not in your teens, right? You shouldn't be 15 making a baby. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just, certain things that go on condones is nah, no, right? But it's accepted, it's allowed, so it gets promoted, and people follow suit, right? But if you 15 thinking about having a baby, you should at least have your own apartment, should be working a job, should have a savings of at least $40,000. If you're 15 and you want to have a baby, you should already have certain things established. Other than that, enjoy your life. Discover who you are. You're 15. Making a baby, it's gonna come. Trust, it's gonna come. But what's the use of you being 15, still living with your family, don't have no job, don't have no savings, but you got a baby now? I mean, what sense does that make? Now you are depending on somebody else. And what about the dad, right? Was the dad true? Was the dad real? Or was it just a it is to quit it? Right? So, certain factors of common sense you gotta keep on the table. Right? What works for somebody else is not gonna work for you. And yet people like to say, oh, I can do it because they didn't. They did it, so I can do it, but I'm gonna do it better. And it's like, yeah, do you know their whole situation though? They did what they did due to their circumstance of situation. You're doing it based off of you seeing them doing it. But what is your circumstance and situation to it? Just the fact that you saw them and you want to copy? Because you thought it was cool? I mean, there's so many other things that you can see, think is cool, and repeat. And it has nothing to do with making children. I'm just saying. Because that's one of the biggest plots and scandal. All these children out here not being taken care of, not being supported, not being loved the way they should. And it's why? Because they're being created and born into families by people that have no business making or creating babies. And then sometimes people wonder, why is the world so chaotic? Maybe because certain people wasn't thinking the right way when they started something, and then when it got to the middle, it just turned into whatever. And now we're getting closer to the end, and it's like, okay, well, what can I do now? Because it's already almost done. Like, the damage has already been done. We should have started this 20 years ago. We should have thought about this 5 years ago. But, moment of chance, opportunity, somebody looks good, because that's the biggest part of it, right? If somebody looks good, then, hey, they get certain benefits. They get certain leisures, they get certain pleasures of life because of how the way they look. Yet, you talk to them, you get to know them, you really see what their mind is about, and you got some growing up to do. You're childish. Yeah, just because you look a certain way, female or man, all of a sudden certain things get overlooked. All of a sudden certain things can get passed by. And it's like, so that's what we're doing now? We're not building structure off of morals, decency, and mind. We're building structures off of how bad your body looks. Bad meaning good, right? Oh, you got a bad body, so yeah, let me make a couple kids with you. Oh, but your cousin look better. Maybe let me see if I can get your cousin too, right? So it's like, what's going on? What's going on? What's really going on? Right? Why are people doing what they're doing? Are you simply doing it because you see somebody else doing it, or are you doing it because you want to do it because you know that that's your point of purpose to life, right? And that's the whole thing. You don't have to do it the same way that it's already been done. Do something original. Do something for yourself. Make a new wave in life versus copying or making a ripple on the wave, right? That's you, the ripple on the wave that's already been there, but you created that ripple, which is cool. Don't dismiss the ripple, but again, depending on where you want to go with it, why not create your own wave? And why not establish your own wave off of not manipulating the situation? How about establishing something that's based in truth? Right? They say the truth hurts, yet if you know the truth, you get over the hurt. You look at the logic of it. If it makes sense, act accordingly. Right? It wouldn't hurt so much sometimes if we know as we're listening to it, it doesn't register. Right? Like if you know you was doing some stupid ass shit and somebody says, hey, people need to stop doing stupid ass shit, now you getting mad, then maybe that explains you, right? You the one doing stupid ass shit, because if you wasn't, then it wouldn't affect you. You wouldn't get mad. You wouldn't get emotional. You want to try to do something to get quote unquote revenge, right? It's just it's just one of those things. I had to say it because I'm asking, what is the point? Right? What is really the point to what people are doing? And like I kept saying on this live, right? After you do something, it's said and done. It's done and it's said. So okay, now what's next? Right? And if you're building stuff, or if you're merely keeping yourself at a certain level in life, then that's your fault, not mine. Now, when I advance, don't drag me to where you're at, right? With the guilt, with the, oh, how did you do it and I didn't do it? Oh, maybe you got a better leg up than I did. You had the chance of opportunity. When I was around, that wasn't open. You're around, it all of a sudden gets open, so that's how you was able to do it. It's like, yeah, to a certain degree, that's a possibility, right? Because over the time, over the years, yeah, certain things have changed. Certain things have opened up. Certain things have been able to grab or gain access, right? But perhaps my timing was meant for me, just like your timing was meant for you. Why didn't you stamp something in your timing? That's the whole thing. It gets me discombobulated, right? You say you a 60s baby, right? You a 60s baby. Now you in the 2000s. You already got the family, you already got the establishment, you already worked the jobs, you already had the career, etc., right? You worked hard for it though, right? It was tough in the 60s. Yet at the same time, to a certain degree, it was easier, right? Right. But in the 2000s, it got harder. When you think about it, it got harder in the 2000s. Why? Because there was more access to stuff, right? So certain things got closed off unless you had credentials, right? Versus maybe in the 60s, you might not have had the credentials, but you had the know-how, you had the knowledge, so you was able to do it. You was able to get the job. You was able to put in that foundation. But you didn't do it. You didn't put in no foundation in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. But you waited to the 2000s. Now your cousin is starting up in the 2000s. They're working, they're establishing, and in a matter of what, 5 years, let's go with, right? In a matter of 5 years, they reached the pinnacle that you reached after 12 years of your hard work. They got that in 5. Where does the hate or the shade come from? Right? How you mad at me? I wasn't born in the 60s. You was. It's not my fault you didn't do what you were supposed to do in the 60s. I was born in 2000s. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So what's the problem? We're family. Right? I got you, you got me. If it's real, right? But if it's not, then how are you upset if you only get bits and pieces? Or if maybe you only get to see or hear about it. You're not involved at all. Is that wrong? Hey, depends on the person that you're talking about. Right? Because how people get sucked into feeling guilty because they don't share what they have or what they established, what they worked hard for. How are you mad because I don't want to share my hard work? Right? Versus you can have it easy. Or you don't have to go to work. You don't have to bust 12, 16 hours like I had to. All you gotta do is turn on your phone, spend a couple of hours online, and now you made what, $300, $500, $1,000. Just go with it, right? I'm not mad that you're not sharing. I'm not mad. I still gotta work to 16. But how are you mad at me though? Because I do work at 16. How are you tripping over me and saying I'm weird because I'd rather do the 16 than spend the 2 to 3 hours online? What works for you is not going to work for me. Likewise, what works for me is not going to work for you. So what's the problem? We're a family. If I'm part of your family, you're part of my family, what you did built that foundation for you, your family, your generation. Likewise, I'm doing that, right? I got my kids I got to worry about. I got my grandkids I got to worry about. But as you go through that album, right, as you go through the years, as you go through the generations, you look at it. Grandma did this. Grandpa did that. Ooh, mom did this. Dad did that. Ooh, sister did this. Brother did that. And then look, that's me right there. I did that. That's what I put in. That's my hard work. That's my blood, sweat, and tears. Right? And hence, it can trickle down to the later generation. Everything from establishment of granny, great granny. Right? When you do it the right way, it's supposed to go down to the next generation. Mom's supposed to get it. Pop's supposed to get it. Siblings are supposed to get it. And then the babies are supposed to get it, right? And what we've learned, what we've accumulated, all the hard work that we did, we can share, nourish, and bring forth something new, exciting, and revolutionary, if you want to take it to that dramatic point. Right? It's not to say or to dictate, I did it first, so I did it better, I had it harder, so mine's more important, you had it easier, so it doesn't really matter. No. Know your place and play the role. Right? But again, that's just me. Alright, that's just how I see things. And does everybody see things the way I see it? No, of course not. But I'm sharing, right? Because a certain parts of maybe, just maybe, right? There's gonna be that one person out there that knows what I'm talking about. That truly resonates and fills me from 0 to 1,000. And they're gonna take this information and they're gonna let it marinate, they're gonna let it digest because the resonation fits. And they're gonna ponder on how they can continue living their life, making a life, and making it theirs. Right? Because it's that one. Right? It just has to be that one. It could be that none. Right? Nobody can get what I'm saying, comprehend, resonate. But maybe it is that one. And maybe that one is going to help share it to the 5, share it to the 10, share it to the 20 that gets to the masses. Right? Because it's only a matter of time. And time is ticking, right? There's no time like the present time to start putting in the work to the direction that we want to go in. And when we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing, when we're all cleaning up, because we're taking full accountability for what we've been doing, right? Good or bad, wrong or right, right? You did it, so take accountability. Don't want to hear it, right? You did it. Just accept it. You did it, right? Get to that point. You got to get to that point, right? You got to get to that point where you say, you know what? Yeah, I did do it. I don't care if people look at me weird, right? Because some people want to do stuff behind the scenes, right? And don't want to show it in front of you. Trying to put on a mask, act like there's something presentable, right? And it's not to say that they're not, but to be genuinely all the way you, really show your true colors. Really show who you are. So if you're manipulative and you like to be sneaky and cheat, don't lie about it. Say it. Right? Tell that person that you're with, whoever it is, all of them, that you're not real like that. I will lie to your face and tell you I ain't doing nothing, but I know I am. So, hey, you can take it or leave it. You can still deal with me or not. And it's going to be up to that person to say, I'm going to do what you do. I'm going to let it go. Accept it. So walk away. She said no. He said no. Leave it alone. But at least at the end of the day, you was truthful. Right? At least at the end of the day, you wasn't lying. Right? But you got those that do that. That lie. On the simplest thing. Who you're with. It's like, why do you gotta lie to the person that you're with? You're sleeping with that person. Why are you lying? Right? But again, people do that. Children are supposed to be beautiful and precious, yet so many people are creating children behind the scenes, right? Sleeping with wives, sleeping with husbands, sleeping with people's family members, creating babies, changing names, and you wonder why the world is the way it is. It's like you never know who you might be talking to at the end of the day. That might be your cousin. How some people can lie, right? And now, whose fault is that? You have a whole relationship, you create a whole baby with your cousin. I'm just, hey, people do it, right? How many sides? How many babies are not being created and accounted for? Just real talk. Just real talk. And the way that it's so cute that it's done, right? It's so acceptable. Oh, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna lie and say it's his, even though I know it's not. I know it's his cousin. I know it's his brothers. So I'm just gonna lie and say it's my husband. Like, what good are you? What good are you? For real, what good are you? Stand up, admit the truth. I'm a backstabber betrayer. I slept with your brother, and we created this baby. This baby ain't yours. This baby is not yours. Matter of fact, none of these babies is yours. I was lying to you the whole time. We married, but none of these babies are yours. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. But people don't want to do that. People don't want to tell the truth. But you did it though. You did it. You did it though. Right? Likewise with the guys. How many babies did you give to your friend's girls? Right? These supposed to be your boys. But you gave them a baby though. And then you still walk up to the same dudes that you supposed to be buddy with. What up though? What up though? What up though, bro? How you doing? Hey! And lo and behold, you got a whole baby. Or two with their person, with their girlfriend, with their wife. Like, really? 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 Tell the truth. Tell the truth. I slept with your girl, dog. Yeah, I did that. I know I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up because I did that. And that baby is mine. Like, yeah. Just, yeah. I know you want to kill me now. You want to choke me out now. I already know. I was wrong for that. But I did that. I'm owning up to it. It's not to say that it's going to make it better. No. But admit it. Admit it. Say the truth. But again, people want to lie. People love lying because it keeps the facade, it keeps the game, it keeps the charade. But then when certain things start to flip, and give it time, it does flip, right? No matter how long you deny it or how long you try to delay it, it comes back around, right? It comes back around and bites you real good, don't it? And again, how you mad? How you upset? How you on your feelings? But maybe, just maybe, after you do something, you take full accountability for it. Maybe it can get turned around. Maybe something that was foul, right, can be turned in and transformed into something that is workable, right? Because at the very least, that baby, right? Because we're talking about the babies right now. That baby's gonna know who his real or her real father is, or mother. Because there's nothing wrong or sadder, more sadder or more wronger than not knowing who your biological parents are. Come on now. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why? And then at the same time, with the same breath, we're outwardly speaking as though we're holding a certain stature. No, you're not. No, you're not. No. And it ain't got nothing to do with, that's auntie, that's uncle, that's cousin. I'm not gonna snitch on them to fuck up their shit. No, it's more about what's real. Fuck messing up some shit because shit already got messed up. Why? Because you got two people together in a marriage, but the dude or the woman or both are cheating, staying in a marriage that maybe or maybe not they actually enjoy being with, but then that got to be put onto a factor if you outside cheating, creating babies, having them in a household. None of them are biologically related. Like what? And then you get rid of your biological kids, you put them in foster care, give them to other relatives, and then they change the names. And it's like, okay, come on now. How are you doing something? But then when the baby comes out, now you ashamed. But you wasn't ashamed when you was hitting it, when you was bending it over, right? I mean, just come on. Why are you all of a sudden ashamed because the baby comes out? Tell the truth. But again, that's just me, right? So I'm gonna wrap it up with that because I'm going on a whole rant because it's just some things that bother me to the core, right? And yeah, certain things you can't overlook anymore because certain things gotta change. And if they don't change, then yeah, we're gonna continue doing the same thing dealing with the same thing, experiencing the same thing, and wondering why it hasn't changed. And the whole time it was you. You the one that was that force, a reason to lighten that torch. The closed mouth don't get fed, right? And if we can, and I'm gonna close with this one, right? If we can gain so much as individuals and as a whole in society through manipulation, corruption, lies, shame, disrespect, degrading, forgetfulness, abuse, right? If we could get and gain so much through all of this, then maybe, right? Maybe we can imagine how much more we could establish, gain, and hold and possess if we said things based off of truth. If we changed our mindset and said, you know what, I used to do things this way, but let me try this on for size. And you never know. It might work. It might fit. It might actually make you a better person. And when you're a better person, you begin to brighten to your full potential. And there's nothing like talent but wasted talent, right? And we all have talent. And are we all going to continue to use it? Or we're going to continue to trust is yours. The decision is up to you. And with that, I'll be out. Shout out to all those that came through, slid through on the live. Shout out to everyone that will fish the replay. Gratitude, you're appreciated. All love, all life, all peace, all happiness, all solutions to you and yours. And with that, peace. Until the next time.